Very warm afternoon from Delhi and to the esteemed colleagues and people involved in this marathon task of getting youth of modern times connected to the reality, connected to the work, what we should look forward for our youth. As you know, the century may be known today, 21st century, I mean, a century for Asia. And but at the same time, this century, especially for India, is for century for youth. Youth, not only for voting, but youth for making some change in the climate of politics, climate of learning, and also changing whole environment. So my small lecture today is confined to see how the youth for today will be for youth in the coming years or time. So youth for tomorrow is the main subject area which I have been thinking to talk about, and I have got this opportunity today. Thank you very much for that. You see, the general ideas about youth, as we all know, has been important for many countries, but here in India, having a population of a very large number, large percentage of young boys and girls, it is very uh, immense power of the country to tackle many issues. In previous 2 decades or 3 decades, we have been talking about the number of population being very large, which of course creates lots of issues of self-sufficiency and other life issues. But suddenly in the modern age of AI, artificial intelligence, and so much commercialization, mechanization, and many tools being used for our life in social media or media, and what we call today knowledge management, KM, we have found the number of young boys and girls in India is a plus point. This doesn't mean that I am promoting a number of children to grow all the time in India, but whatever number, large number we have, these are the challenging time of the world, and for India, they are playing very important role. If we have any hope to see the countries like China can be superseded by our activities and work in every sector of life, technology and all, it would be only due to the reason that we do have a larger population of young people. So how we have to see that? We have just heard one speaker talking about how the youth had a chance to go to Germany and learn. Unfortunately, I don't subscribe to the ideas of sending our youth to third areas or world, Western world especially, because I know, we all know 80% or 75% for sure they do not come back. So it becomes an individual build-up of students and young boys and girls. It doesn't contribute back home, especially when we need a lot of technical hands in the Indian subcontinent or India in general. Why? Because it may be gain for youth to have new technology, new learning, new environment, and new invention. But problem is that we do not have them coming back to our country. That's why in the past 4 years, you have seen a lot of number of students have been creating the system of life which makes them creating startups in many, many fields. So today we have the youth. They must go to see how changes can be brought to India by studying in these countries. The time is coming high to tell them to remember motherland and try to give as much as possible in addition to what they are contributing by sending remittances to their parents and family members. They are very great in the second number in the world for transmission of foreign currency to India. These youth workers, they need to be motivated now to be going and coming back. So this going and coming back can be possible only when we look into our Indian knowledge system of learning how we have been growing in the early times of Indian history and culture. That is very important for us. Anyhow, the point which they get and they should get for the tomorrow's world, when I mean tomorrow's world, it doesn't mean tomorrow only or 1 year or 2 years from now. I'm talking about next two decades. 2 decades are very, very vital for us. And these young people of Indian background to need a lot of development of great breadth of skills to evaluate and apply knowledge in various ways, which are very important for meeting the demands of our changing social economic order and landscape. We all know in communication, teamwork, critical thinking, and flexibility have been missing in our education. With the new kind of education policy, where you have got lots of opportunity to quit and join back somewhere else and come back again, this flexibility has been waited for a long time. And this flexibility is now very much possible. So in the coming years, when we have the first 4 year bachelor degree program, which directly allows you to enter a PhD program in India or anywhere, is going to be a game change. And this would be possible only when we mix up the ideas of Indian knowledge system and the modern KM system of life to make a good shape. For future generation, it's crucial that they must know that skill has to be developed. The group talk and explanation of certain kinds of factors of some ideas and innovations have been missing in our classrooms. This time we have to look into this kind of ideas to grow more, because the internship, as the question was coming from one bright student here from Mahatma Gandhi University in Bihar, that how he can do the internship. This craze of internship has been not satisfied in India before. That was not part of your syllabi. Now, being part of syllabi, giving you some credits would mean you can have much more X to hurt bad ideas of life. You create good ideas around life by learning that way. Thirdly, it is expected the youth of India in the coming 2 to 3 years' time would have at least new 5 million to 7 million jobs. And that would be possible to be filled in only when we are at a global par or at the level of global excellence. When I say global excellence, youth has to get ideas in the modern world through technology and also having short time to stay abroad or learning 1 year or 2 year abroad and bringing back, because the lack of skills are the missing factor for our study and knowledge. And we need to be collected more, and youth can be game changer, because the global challenges today, as we know, climate changes are big issues. Health, and we have seen the story of syndrome of novel coronavirus, shortened to be COVID, how it has been affecting, and health practices have changed a lot. When youth are going back to those ancient things to be applied not only for personal use but also for creating ideas and innovation with scientific data, so that may be much more proved, because many of our own products of earlier knowledge system has not been scientifically tested or proved, though it may have been, but it has not been done. So the youth have the challenge today to justify that, because suddenly we see lots of traditional healthcare is coming up in a big way, apart from yoga, which has been already for so many years. But thing is that the Center for Universal Education today needs these young youth to be trained and motivated. And this motivation can happen not only at the level of studies, not only at the level of going for internship, but also back home, talking and taking care of elderly people, neighboring people who are deprived, who do not have facilities to learn. Their help in learning, one student in a class, if he or she helps another student in the same class, they learn faster. And this is the time when the students and both teachers have to change. The aptitude of teachers have been missing, and I'm sure with these kind of coming ideas, we will be able to do that. Secondly, this is very important for us to learn what we are for. Is this age of materialism only for getting personal gain of finances and money, to be unicorn in 1 month or 2 months or 4 months, or we earn money at a faster speed? I just read today, Adani Group is earning 200 crore or 700 crore rupees per day. Every year he is adding. All these earnings are most welcome for anyone. But if you are having social responsibility, to be learned that once you get, you are not getting everything by your own entire self study or self knowledge. You are being helped by society, and society gives you ideas to make you at this stage where you are able to contribute to society and humankind. This learning has to be trained among our young students and scholars. This is very important for us. Another point which I want to talk about youth is that youth has seen in current days the opportunities of sports and education go together. We do not have that ratio of sports persons among youth to go for that, because we still do have the subscription of ideas that Kelana is not good enough as Padana. And I'm not going to sing the old Hindi song of the movie, but it is for true that at the moment, sports and sportsmanship is very important for your not your healthy life, but also for creating inspiration in society. The way cricketers have been coming up in a big way at the age of 18 and 19 was not seen earlier in that match. There were two or three or four couple games, not all. It all has been possible because there is a new thrust on education and sports to go together. Now, this is important that when the government plans to give jobs without having prerequisites, as you know, many jobs have been given now to those who have expertise in government agencies or other places. That is the time only when you have as a youth learn and develop ideas for your own system of life. Finally, I would like to contribute by telling that our Indian youth is not only asset for us, it is asset for humankind. 35% of total Indian diaspora in the Western world are from the age bracket of 30 to 42. So this 12-year age bracket gives them 400 billion every month. 400 billion every month. I'm talking about the entire West, not only America or not Germany or any one country. So this has to be taken. If we have a slice of that, with opportunities being provided in India, I'm sure we would be reaching those heights because we are not aggressor. We come from a country where aggression is not part of our mindset. So youth has been very important for this to learn and grow more. And I also think that opportunities of education research, which have to come in coming 2 to 3 years, they must be taken up by a large number. Another lacuna of our youth today and tomorrow is that they do not go for research. That is very important because we lack a lot of research ideas to grow from our own society and life. This area has to be given big trust. The students should be motivated by having a good number of scholarship inside the country also, so that they can feel comfortable not only for the research expenses, but also their back home responsibility for taking care of old age parents and sisters and brothers. This is very important to us to be taken care of. At the fag end of the talk today, I want to tell, I'm so much confident of you all. You are not only motivated, but you are motivator. I have been teaching classes across the globe. I have been traveling to more than 84 countries, meeting all the time youth. As a visiting professors in classrooms, I have seen how much vibrance they have as a young youth. As I gave example that one classmate giving another classmate help has much more direct impact and easy learning than our teachers learning to those teachers, those students. So this you can see how you are well armed and well equipped. With these words, I'm once again very thankful to this Rajiv Gandhi effort. It's very important for our life to understand and motivate and get motivated. Thank you so much. I will